Hello everybody. Yeah, I have new PNG characters. Also, this set of PNGs also have a lot more emotions, which is why I picked this set instead of my usual vengeful Dark Knight. Anyways, enough yapping. Let's get on with this already.
The Bloons community has developed some unwritten rules we all follow without even realizing it. In today's video, we'll uncover the unwritten rules of BTD6. I'll explain each of them, and I'll give you a unique punishment for each rule should you decide to break it.
The fuck you mean punishment? I get you're joking, at least I think so, but it ain't a good punchline.
The first unwritten rule is that you always place a perma-spike at the end of the track. There are very few strategies in any game that apply 100% of the time, but you can never go wrong with an end-of-the-track perma-spike. Best case scenario, it saves you precious lives from a few leaked balloons. Worst case scenario, it doesn't get used most of the game, and when any blimp slips through, the perma decimates it with all the spikes that have been saved up over the course of the game.
I highly doubt that perma spike could decimate anything after round 100 considering how tanky the balloons are. I can already suspect this guy's the friend in the friend group who's trying to relate all the time but fails miserably.
Both winning scenarios. It's always going to get used and save you some way or somehow. It's a perfect addition to any strategy. If you break this rule, you have to win a normal game only placing down spike factories. Good luck. But not every tower is essential. Some you should actually avoid like the plague. That's why you should never use the Super Monkey Fan Club. You get the upgrade, use it once, realize it's literally the worst thing ever, then proceed to completely forget about it. Those are the actions of any responsible Bloons player, because there's exactly 0 reasons why you would ever need this useless monkey. On top of all that, all the other Dart Monkey paths are superior in every way. The catapult can carry you through a lot of maps, and the tier 5 crossbow is the most beautiful thing Ninja Kiwi has ever made. The fan club sucks so much, and the other paths are literally goats. You'd have to lose your mind to ever use this fraud fan club. If you break this rule, you have to rename your Dart Monkey to Bloon Kisser. And if you don't have access to names, do the next boss without any monkey farms. Our third rule is for all my Ninja Monkey enjoyers out there. You've always got to invest in seeking shurikens if you're going top path. If you're a baby Bloons fan, maybe you've made the mistake of throwing distraction action on your Ninja Monkey. It's okay, mistakes happen, but now it's time to get educated and correct them. What most people don't realize is seeking shurikens is accurate, like really accurate. So much so that even though it seems like a purely support ability, it increases your pop rate drastically. When you're going top path, you're constantly adding to the number of shurikens being shot out, and the more you add, the more you start missing all of them. Even though you're shooting out 4 shurikens, you're only hitting like 2, but when you invest in seeking shurikens, you almost guarantee all your shurikens hit. While an unassuming skill at first, seeking shurikens is essential for any top path Ninja Monkey. If you break this rule, you're punishing yourself by missing half your shots, so have fun with that, I guess. The top path Ninja Monkey rule was kinda specific, but this next rule applies to everyone who plays Bloons. Never use Insta monkeys. They're for admiring, not for using. At this point, hoarding items is a universal experience, and Bloons isn't an exception. Even though it seems wise to use it when you need it, you'll thank yourself later when you have a beautiful array of Instas to admire. Added on, unless you're literally going through a Bloon apocalypse, you really don't need them. If you do end up using them, you could become reliant on them and leave your ability to concoct a solid strategy behind. In all honesty, the only real reason is, if your friend hits an instant spread on you, you need to be able to match him. If you break this rule, get flexed on by my Insta collection. That's the power of delayed gratification. But if you want instant gratification, drop a like on this video and subscribe right now. We're releasing high quality Bloons content and you won't want to miss a single video. If you break this rule, you're never allowed to open Bloons TD6 again. Number 5. We all place down our free Dart Monkey, but let's be real, no one ever upgrades that thing. That little guy is a monument.
Wait, what the fucker? Since when are you supposed to not upgrade the free Dart Monkey? It's a crime to not upgrade it. Get this man out of here.
The symbol of your humble beginnings, the first line of defense against the balloons. His job is to pop those first few reds and blues and then be forgotten with honor. Every dollar you spend on him is a dollar you could have spent on a hero or a tower that's actually meant for the job. He's perfect the way he is, and any attempt at changing him makes you unappreciative and controlling. He fought his war and now he's in retirement. He did so much for you at the start of the game. Let him relax. If you break this sacred rule, you have to beat a hard map with only dart monkeys. Good luck, you're gonna need it. If you end up doing the punishment, this next unwritten rule might help you. The 6th unwritten rule is that if a map has a long straight line, you gotta put a Juggernaut at the end of it, period. This isn't a suggestion, it's a geometric necessity. Some towers are good on curves, some are good everywhere, but the Juggernaut was born to stare down a hallway and unleash hell. When that massive spike ball travels down the entire track, it racks up an impressive pop count that is undeniably the GOAT. Placing a Juggernaut anywhere else is forcing it to live below its potential. You wouldn't put a sniper rifle in front of an obstacle. It's essential to place every tower in a spot where it can do its best work. If you do that with the Juggernaut, you'll have a new favorite tower. If you break this rule, you're never allowed to use Juggernaut again. You clearly don't know how to use him. Now you need to pay for Juggernaut. Luckily, our next rule can help with that. You must give in to the absolute unfettered greed and
It's an absolute crime that you get top path instead of middle path. For your punishment, you're not allowed to cross-path your farms for the next boss run.
fill the entire map with monkey farms at least once. We're not talking about making some money on the side to buy some tier 5s. We're talking about a glorious, screen-lagging, unnecessary number of farms. Is there a pixel of free grass? It needs a farm. Can you fit one behind that rock? Do it. This isn't about winning, it's about painting a realistic picture of what a war with balloons would really look like. The monkeys on the front line and the elite, you, watching from above and profiting from it all. If you haven't done this, your punishment is to beat a hard map, but you can't place your final tier 5 tower until at least 80% of the usable land is covered in farms. But how are we going to use all the money we have? You need that money for Alchemist, because you are obligated to buff every big damage dealer with an Alchemist. You have an Apache Prime, it needs a personal Alchemist. A new Paragon, it deserves a strong stimulant. Letting a powerful tower attack without an Alch buff is like being a bad manager who doesn't give their best employees the tools.
As a Bloons pro, I can tell you for sure that you do not need a top path Alchemist for every single one of your big damage dealers, as that just takes up way too much space, as stuff like Glue Storm and Homeland Defense are much better.
They need to succeed. It's inefficient, it's disrespectful, and it's just plain wrong. If you leave your main towers unbuffed, you are banned from using the top path Alchemist. No use in having something you don't use. This next rule isn't about what you place, but how you place it. The 9th unwritten rule is that you will obsess over every single pixel of your tower placement. Since we're playing funny monkey game, it makes sense that you would return to your most primal urges, like making sure everything is perfect. Your punishment for just sloppily throwing down your monkeys, you have to look at the crooked, asymmetrical mess you've created. That's it. That's the punishment. That obsession with perfection leads to our 10th rule. You never have a level 1 Paragon. A degree 1 Paragon is a monument to failure. It's a sign that you were lazy and didn't put in the work. Settling for the bare minimum is an insult to the very idea of a Paragon. If you create a degree 1 Paragon, you are not allowed to use Paragons for a month.
Honestly, I doubt this guy even knows one bit about the mechanics of making a Paragon, as it is nigh impossible for you to make a degree 1 Paragon intentionally, unless you place the towers right as you spawn the Paragon. As pops contribute to Paragon degrees, and it's hard for them to not have any pops.
You must relearn the value of sacrifice. But before you can even think about Paragons, you have to prove yourself. The 11th rule is that you must attempt Chimps on every map at least once before you look up a guide. You owe it to yourself to try and to fail, and to learn the map's cruel tricks on your own terms. Looking up a guide without at least first tasting the defeat that the map gives you is like reading the last page of a book first. You rob yourself of the journey. If you immediately look up a guide, your punishment is that you must now blackborder that map without any extra money-making resources, like farms or Benjamin. Good luck, brokey. But even if you master every strategy, some things are out of your control. This isn't a rule you follow, it's a rule the game enforces upon you. No matter how good your device is, it will always crash in the late game. Your phone could be powered by a small star. Your PC could be a NASA supercomputer. It does not matter. Around 150 or so, the game will decide it's had enough and unceremoniously break. There's no apparent reason why my $3,000 computer can't handle a literal mobile game, but I couldn't see anything on screen for the last 50 rounds anyway, so who cares? Speaking of things the game gets wrong, the in-game labels are lying to you. The 13th unwritten rule is the universal truth that half cash is way harder than Chimps. This isn't even a debate. Chimps is a fair fight, a solid and respectable challenge. Half cash is a street mugging. It starves you of your resources, takes all your strategies, and leaves you feeling weak. It's not a test of skill, it's a war of attrition designed to break your spirit and make you spam boomerang monkeys. If you disagree, go do half cash on an extreme map. Go ahead and walk the walk. Let's zoom out from the balloon conflict for a minute, because the 14th rule takes place in the menus. You have to experiment in the main menu and figure out all of the Easter eggs at least once. Click literally every pixel on the screen and find all those cute little animations and Easter eggs. A true fan explores every corner of the game, not just the part where you pop balloons. If you haven't done this, you have to play with the default music on until you find every single Easter egg. Sometimes it's our own habits that hold us back. Our next rule is we all have a monkey whose abilities we don't care enough to use. Maybe it's the total transformation, maybe it's the Moab eliminator. You buy the upgrade to have the monkey, but you never remember to actually click the button. It just sits there, a silent testament to your own laziness. If you break this rule and actually use your abilities like a sweat, good job, you're playing the game right. This next experience is a rite of passage. You have to lose to a single red balloon in Chimps at least once. You've beaten round 98, you feel invincible, then, out of the corpse of a ZOMG, a single red balloon emerges and floats lazily past your $2 million setup, and you lose.
So now we're punished for being good. These rules are such bullshit. I'm not even sure if this video's a joke or actually serious at this point.
This is the game humbling you, reminding you that it's not over until you see the victory screen. If this has never happened to you, go and beat Chimps with 2 towers right now if you think you're so good at the game. How you handle a loss says a lot about you. The 17th unwritten rule is you never, under any circumstances, pay to continue a game. When you die, you die. That continue ? Screen is a test of character, and clicking it is a failing grade. A real victory is earned from round 1 through strategy and flawless execution. We take our losses with honor, and to be honest, it really just adds up and makes you broke. But if you break this sacred rule, you must spend all your monkey money on pools. You don't gotta use them, but you gotta buy them. This next rule is a matter of philosophy. The 18th rule is that powers are for admiring, not for using. Like Insta monkeys, your power-ups are a collection. They are trophies symbolizing your victories, not tools to make the game easier. A true victory is earned without them. If you use a power on a non-boss run, you have to sell one of your instant monkeys as penance.
It's strange that I say this, and as a person who is mostly anti-powers, I would grant you permission to use Banana Farmer, as it's mostly quality of life, as it doesn't attack balloons at all or help you other than collecting bananas.
This one is about keeping things tidy. You must pay to remove all the debris on whatever map you're on. The corn on cornfield, it has to go. The rock on cracked, get it out of here. It doesn't matter if you don't need the space. It doesn't matter if it's over your budget. It's a moral imperative. We play on a clean map, period. If you play on a cluttered map, your punishment is that you're never allowed to remove debris.
The fuck do you mean? That's just stupid, as wasting money on removing obstacles, especially in the early game, costs a lot of money. And it just seems unnecessary considering you're not even gonna place towers on those locations, since you're rushing to remove them and have no cash left.
Again. There are many paths, but only one is righteous. The 20th rule is that in most circumstances, the 205 sub-commander is the only sub-monkey you should be using. The sheer power of an army of triple gun subs all buffed into oblivion is unmatched. The other paths are fine, but this one is law. If you use another sub path as your main defense, you're not allowed to use subs at all on your next water map. You must think about what you've done. This next one is for all my AFK maxers out there. The 21st rule is that you never actually control any of the controllable monkeys. You lock your dartlings in place and you give your ace a flight pattern and pray. We set things up and trust the system. If you insist on manually controlling your towers, your punishment is you have to beat a map using only towers that require manual control. Have fun breaking your game whenever you click literally anywhere. Number 22. Check your profile. I guarantee that the Dart Monkey will be your most used monkey. Whether it's the free one at the start or the cornerstone of your Chimps run, he's always there. He is old reliable. He is the beginning and the end. There is no punishment, just a clear rule that we all follow. Back to our capitalist instincts. The next rule is you always try to fit one more farm in, even when there's no room left at all. You will squeeze it into any corner, its pixels overlapping with another building, glitching into the back rooms. The pursuit of wealth knows no physical boundaries. If you don't always push for one more farm, you're sentenced to only play Bloons Super Monkey 2 from now on. Now let's go back to the most important part of your strategy: aesthetics. Your towers always have to be perfectly symmetrical, even if it doesn't make gameplay sense. You place a tack shooter on the left side of the—
In my 4 years of being in this community, I can assure you that has never ever been an unwritten rule in BTD6. This guy's literally saying nonsense now. There has never been such an unwritten rule, and now he's just adding false filler BS.
Track, you are now obligated to place another one in the exact corresponding position on the right, even if it doesn't make any sense strategy-wise. Why? Because we are not savages, we crave balance. If you create a chaotic asymmetrical layout, your punishment is that you must beat any hard map, but you're only allowed to place towers on one side of the map. Number 25, you have to forget about camo balloons and hopelessly lose the round at least once. It doesn't matter if you're a veteran or a noob, if you forget to place one monkey that can see camos, it's game over. It's the universal reminder that no matter how powerful you become, hubris is the great equalizer. If you claim this has never happened to you, you're a liar, and your punishment is that you must beat a hard map without any camo popping monkeys. It's time for radars. That powers are for admiring, not for using. Speaking of camos, normal camo balloons aren't your biggest worry. You will get absolutely wrecked by DDTs because you aren't prepared at least once. Round 90 hits, you're feeling good, your defense is solid, then these quiet black blimp-shaped nightmares glide onto your screen and your towers just watch them. You realize your entire multi-million-dollar defense has nothing that can hit black lead camo balloons. It's not a leak, it's an execution. If you were somehow born with the knowledge of how to counter DDTs, you're never allowed to use monkey knowledge again. You're clearly so good, you don't need it. This next one is a pain of your own making. You have to experience the agony of hoarding cash for a Paragon, only to die moments before you can afford it. You're at 480,000, you just need one more round. You greedily hit start, ignoring the fact your defenses are tissue paper against the impending wave of fortified DDTs. You watch in horror as your lives evaporate. It's the ultimate lesson in greed. The game has already punished you more than I ever could. Number 28. Sometimes, even when you win, you have to do something pointless. When grinding for a border, you always go into free play mode, even if it's a total waste of time. You've beaten Chimps, you have the medal, there's absolutely no reason to continue, but you do it anyway. You click free play to watch your defense annihilate round 101 as a sort of psychological victory lap. If you don't take your victory lap, you're not allowed to play in free mode for any reason for a whole month. Number 29, you always find a way to use a monkey sub because they're that good. Even on maps with tiny puddles, you'll find a way to cram a sub in there. Their global range and immense power are just too good to ignore. If you play a map with water and don't use a sub, you have to play the next 3 maps without placing any towers near water. Number 30. When in doubt, you always start off with an Alch buffed ninja. It's the most reliable opening in the game, the one you can fall back on for almost any map. It solves camos and lead popping before round 30. It's a legend for a reason. If you refuse to use this legendary combo, then you're not allowed to use ninjas or Alchemist at all for a week. This next one is about efficiency. The 31st rule is you always get pursuit on every helipilot you have. Why would you want to manually fly it around when it can do a better job on its own? We have technology for a reason. Set it and forget it. If you don't use pursuit, you have to beat a map using only a manually controlled heli as your primary defense. Number 32, when you're just about to lose, you always try to strategize even when it's hopeless. A DDT has slipped through. It's halfway down the track, you have 10 lives and no money, but you're still there, frantically pausing the game, trying to sell a farm to buy a 0-0 spike factory as if that's gonna change anything. It's a tragic denial of a commander who refuses to go down with their ship, even when the ship is already at the bottom of the ocean. If you just give up and let the balloon leak without a fight, you're not allowed to use military monkeys for your next game. A true commander never quits. Number 33. Every player has a weakness. Everyone has that one intermediate map they struggle with more than advanced maps. It's your personal demon, the one map that just laughs at your best strategies. It defies logic, but it's real. You must now go and beat that map on Chimps. It's time to conquer your demons. Number 34. This is a matter of sanity. You always mute the hero voices. You love Pat Futsty, but
the hell is it with this community's ick about hero voice lines? It's not even that bad, and I actually like them.
you do not need to hear him yell it's squashing time for the 400th time. The silence is golden. It allows you to focus on the sweet, satisfying sound of popping balloons. If you play with the hero voices on, your punishment is you have to listen to them, all of them, for the entire game. Number 35. Some towers are just untrustworthy. The 35th rule is that the monkey wizard never placed the wall of fire in the right spot until the update where you could just place it yourself. You used to have to place him in the most perfect, ideal location imaginable, and he would just repay you by summoning his firewall 3 inches to the left, completely missing the main track. Sometimes it feels like he's helping the balloons. There's no punishment I can imagine that's worse than the pain of watching a firewall spawn on the wrong part of the track. The wizard is doing the punishing. Number 36. The 36th rule is the ultimate sin. Never buy hero levels with cash. Every dollar you spend to level up your hero is a dollar you've stolen from your defense. It is the single most inefficient use of money in the entire game. You earn hero levels through combat and time through honor. Buying them is the ultimate shortcut of the desperate and strategically bankrupt. If you buy even a single hero level, you are never allowed to use heroes again. You cannot be trusted. Number 37. When a new event comes out, we all don't read the rules.
Okay, yeah, it's been like 3 instances where this guy is punishing me for being smart. This ain't tradition no more. It's skill issue coping disguised as tradition, and I'm tired of this BS.
The first time. You jump in blind and have absolutely no idea what's going on as you immediately lose. This is how we learn. Through failure. Through pure, unfiltered chaos. Reading the rules before is its own punishment. You are a coward. Number 38. This is non-negotiable. You must always have auto start on. We are here to pop balloons, not to sit around and admire the scenery between rounds. The faster World War balloon is over, the better. The second a round ends, the next one begins. Waiting is for the weak. If you play with auto start off, you have to beat a map on impoppable, but you're not allowed to fast forward. Number 39. And for some reason, you always have fast forward on. Life is too short to watch balloons move at normal speed. If your screen isn't constantly moving at double speed, you're just wasting your life. This is the only way to play. Your punishment for playing on normal speed is that you have to black border an intermediate map with only ice monkeys. But you can have support monkeys. Number 40. And the final, most important rule of the entire community, you never admit you used a guide to help black border a map. Did you secretly watch a guide because Chimps on this map is way too hard? No, you didn't. You just had a stroke of strategic genius. You figured out that precise 024 sniper placement all on your own. Your friends don't need to know about the spreadsheet you have open on your second monitor. If you break the code of silence, your punishment is you have to actually beat your next expert map on Chimps with no guide. And that was all of the unwritten rules of balloons. Are there any rules that weren't on this list? If you enjoyed this video, leave a like and subscribe, and go ahead and click the video on screen. If there isn't one, you're here early and we'll have new videos out soon. Welcome to the Bloons Hate Club. See you next time. If you want instant gratification, you should drop a like on this video and subscribe to the channel. This is our very first video. Let's see if we can hit 100 subs. We'll be releasing high-quality balloons content, and you won't want to miss a single video. If you break this rule, you're never allowed to open BTD6 again.